afternoon. It's Saturday, July the 19th. And this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. Well, it's still legal. Still legal today. Trump hasn't sued us yet. I sent the jackboot masked thugs to the house. But it could happen. I wouldn't put it past them. I feel it would be remiss if I didn't give you the breaking news that that guy at the Coldplay concert resigned. That was some bad luck right there. I've had some bad luck in my life, but that right there was like, oh wow. It's like, and all they had to do was just pretend like everything was fine. The camera would have been on him for probably 2-3 seconds, and then it would have moved on to someone else, and everything would have been cool. But they scattered like cockroaches when you turn on the light. They gave themselves away. It's like, dude, obviously something nefarious is going on. Or do you really don't want to be on a camera? It's like... Anyway, if you don't know the story, a man was having an affair, CEO of a company having an affair with the HR director, which is never good. You know the person who tells you don't fuck people at work. Yeah, that's who he was fucking. It's like, that's probably his kink. Like, tell me not to fuck you while I'm fucking you. Tell me I'm breaking the rules. It's like, you gonna write me up? Anyway, not a good look for the CEO or the HR director, really. I don't know about her or what's gonna happen to her. If she'll resign too or whatever, but because they're both in pretty big. Not to mention getting a divorce, but it doesn't look good as far as the work front goes for either one of them. Well, I mean, he already resigned, but if she's still there, it's like, how can you credibly tell the people at your work, don't sexually harass or have work flings when you're back at the boss? You know, it doesn't look good on your HR credibility. He's like, oh my God, we're on the screen. We're getting a divorce. That's what this means. She's gonna take half of my income. Why'd we come here? This was fucking dumb. Oh no. Ooh. Like, we put the work, they're like, here's an investigation on immediately. Oh yeah, well, I'd resign. It's like, he tried to put out a statement too, like I don't appreciate this private moment becoming public. It's like, dude, you're in a public place. There's nothing private about a concert with 20,000 other people and cameras everywhere. It's like, what do you think was private about that? Like, private is taking your girl to the Motel 6 or whatever. It's like, if you're not married, I'm sorry, if you are married and you're taking your girlfriend out to the, I don't know, whatever you're taking her out to, like, there's always going to be a chance. Someone that knows your wife's going to see you. It's not a private moment. It's never going to be a private moment. That's what Trump's coming up on now. It's like all the years of him being a sleazebags, hang out with Jeffrey Epstein is now coming into the light. Which is unbelievable. The guy, he's been politician now for, no, how long, 12 years? Ever since, I guess it was before 2016. 2015, before that even, because when he started with the birther shit, that's when he became a politician. So before that even, like just about 2012, 2013, he threw his hat into the ring. So 12 years? And all them pictures of Jeffrey Epstein, all that shit, and all the people that support Trump, they just ignored all that and said, well, it's all right, you know. That he was friends with the biggest pedophile sex trafficker on earth for 15 years. It's totally fine, I'm sure. He never did anything untoward, or, you know. He's a good guy. He's on TV talking about how he loves young women so much, and how his daughter's so beautiful. If she wanted his daughter a couple years, he'd be banging her, you know, like just creepy shit that he says all the time. And everyone blew that off. So, oh, it's fine. Then you get a peek into the file. Oh, look, it's Trump in there. It's shocker. And like I said on the show already, before, you know, he's friends with him for 15 years. His name's going to be in the file. Like, whether or not he did anything is another question. But he's going to be in the file. He fucking hung around and got 15 years. The fact that he latched onto this and used it to propel his political career, knowing the entire time. He knows. He knew. It's like, you gotta be in the file somewhere. It's not like they're not ever gonna mention that it was his best, you know, who's his best friend. Oh, look, there's 3 channels on, so Facebook's back. All right. We're now broadcasting on 3 channels at once. And chat box is up, so if you're watching anywhere, you can comment, and I will see your comments. And so you can speak to me if you're on the Twitch or you just stumbled onto this show, you've never seen it before. Hey, Khalid. What's up? She's on Twitch. Hey. Now I have to say like where they're from, I guess, since there's so multiple options. How are you? Thank you for watching. But anyway, the fact that he decided to go with this yes, the fact that he latched onto this as a thing to propel his career was like, dude, you gotta know when they open up the book that your name's gonna be in it. Like I said, that doesn't mean that he did it. Now, like I said, do I think he did something? I mean, sure. He said he grabs women by the pussy. He basically told you what he is. He talks creepy about his own daughter. I mean, on TV. He said in a magazine, oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein's a great guy. Yeah, I heard he likes young girls, you know. It's like, dude, you said these things. You can't pretend now that, you know, this is all a hoax and fake, and you have nothing to do with it. It's like, he keeps running the same playbook for every single thing, and it... Again, I guess it's like I was saying on the last show, it's like, the same way I don't understand why people like Dancing with the Stars and shit like that, and Big Brother, you know, dumb shit, that I don't understand how this playbook he runs keeps working. It's like, everything he does is like, it's a hoax. It's a Democrat plot. And I don't know if you saw this, but to try to distract from this, when Tulsi Gabbard popped her head up, I remember before I was talking about where is she, I think they might have killed her. But no, apparently what they did was they sent her down into a deep, dark basement. And they said to find any kind of piece of paper that you could find that sounds even remotely suspicious about 2016. And then bring it out when we blow the whistle. And the Epstein thing started getting out of control. They were like, And here she comes. It's like, Barack Obama needs to be arrested. And of course, all the MAGA people are like, yes! It's like the baby with the keys. Like, look at the shiny keys. Look over here. Like, wow. They go running over there. Oh, Obama. It's like, dude, you were the president. From 2016 to 2020, you could have brought this up at any time. You could have been fully investigated. Not to mention that there's been, I think, at least five independent investigations into this matter, including the Mueller report and a bipartisan Senate report. And they all agree that Russia was fucking around in the 2016 election. Everyone agreed. So, and Tulsi Gabbard's Russian asset. You thought, oh, look, she's trying to cover up for the Russians. What do you think a Russian fucking agent would do? It's so predictably hilarious. So anyway, if you don't know what's going on, the whole story. So Trump was losing, people, they said, oh, the case was closed. They weren't going to release the files. And the MAGA people freaked out, right? Because the whole thing is like, where's the whole cabal of pedophiles that's running the government? And people are covering up for them. When did I get to the bottom of this? And Trump's going to be the one to do it. And then Trump was like, the case is closed. He killed himself. We're not going to show nothing. And the MAGA people were like, no, there's no way. You got to show the files. You got to show them. Like, okay, they want to see the files, right? That's their mission in life, is to see inside these files, right? So, the Wall Street Journal, a credible news outlet, which is unbelievable. It's owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News. We'll talk about that in a minute. They opened the file. They got into the file somehow. I don't know how they got into it. They got some sources that inside the Justice Department. And they said, hey, we got this book. It's a birthday book for Jeffrey Epstein's 15th birthday. And in it, a bunch of rich, powerful people wrote him birthday letters. They were kind of, raunchy. Dershowitz was one. I can't remember. There's a bunch of, billionaires. And Alan Dershowitz is one of them. And one of the letters was from Trump, apparently. It's this fucking weird-ass letter. And whether or not it's true that letter is from Trump, the book is from Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, so whatever that was. I don't know what year it was, but it was a long time ago. Way before Trump was president, or even ran for president. Back when he was a private citizen. So now, he claimed that someone made this all up, and his letters are fake. Well, the letters have been in the book for years and years and years. Like I said, before he was even president. So to think that his story is true, you'd have to think that someone knew that he was going to become president one day, and that they wanted to concoct this fake letter and put it into this book in 2000. Or I don't know what year it was. I guess we should look it up. What year was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday? But the fact that he's going with this hoax thing again is like, come on, man. It's a witch hunt. It's like, Epstein 50th birthday. (2003). Now, the book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell, who's alive and in prison, and who was offered to testify in front of Congress. Somehow that hasn't happened yet. You'd think they'd have brought her up there today. But no, because you know why? Because the Congress and the Republicans in the Congress, they're covering up for these pedophiles now. After all these years, that they were like, well, we gotta be at the bottom of this, and it's a deep state, it's all filled with the pedophiles that control the government and sex traffic little children, and we gotta stop it, and it's all Democrats. I think we're finding out that there's not many Democrats involved in this shit. And maybe everything that they've ever believed was complete bullshit, designed to cover up for the very people that they support. And now it's causing a meltdown in their little fucking pea brains. They can't fucking figure it out. So anyway, they were against Trump, right? Until Wall Street Journal put out this story. And now all of a sudden, they're all like, oh, fake news! They're trying to get Trump and blah, 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 blah. And now they're back on Trump's nuts. Because the media, they hate the media. Now I'm going to tell you something right now. The Wall Street Journal is not Fox News. The Wall Street Journal wouldn't have printed this story if they didn't know that they had everything they needed to show that this story is true, that the letter was in a book in the Justice Department in the files of Jeffrey Epstein's case. You think they didn't know that Trump's going to sue them? Oh, they knew. He told them. Besides the fact that that's all he ever does. It's like, I'm going to sue you. $10 billion. Here's the other thing that I don't think he understands. Matter of fact, I know he doesn't understand it because he wrote a True Social post where he was like, we sued the Wall Street Journal and I can't wait for them to see hours of depositions to sit under oath and talk. And it's like, dude, you know you gotta do that too. That's what I can't wait for. It's just like the Alex Jones case. That case ain't going nowhere. Trump's case. He ain't got no case. This is a case of massive distraction. This is all playbook, same thing. Fake news. Press is the enemy of the people. Like I said, it's just like this Tulsi Gabbard this year to bring out this thing. I haven't seen it anywhere. No one takes it seriously because it's not serious. It's bullshit. But the MAGA people and the online people, that's who it's for. And they're all like, hey, baby, we gotta get Barack Obama. They still hate Barack. Barack went away. Really, you don't see Barack like out very much, you know. He hasn't made a big deal out of himself. He was president for 8 years. He kind of went away. He ain't gone away in their mind. They're like, hey, it's unbelievable. Now, this is the bottom line. These people, the Charlie Kirks, the Bannons, all the people that are like, I said for years, like, we didn't get this Epstein thing, we gotta get to it. We gotta look at the file. And you open the file, Trump, it says, oh, close it. Fake news. See, this is what happens when you base your life off of complete fucking bullshit. People bamboozle you and they fool you. And then the truth doesn't care about your bullshit. The truth is the truth. The truth is, he was friends with this guy for 15 years. You know, he's best friends with the guy for 15 years. And you don't know what he's doing? He's friends with all these other rich guys, too, who are probably banging these girls. You don't think anyone knew what he didn't know? You gotta be a fucking moron to tell yourself he didn't know nothing about this. It's well known that when Trump ran that beauty pageant, then he would bust into the fucking changing room, the fucking 16-year-old girls who are changing to get to, in their bikinis or whatever to get on the pageant. He just walked right in. Hey! Guy's a perv. He said he grabs women by the pussy. He said it. It's not like somebody said he said that. No, he said it. And people let that. He should have never been president right then. The fact that people blew that off, that's when I knew it was like, this is different than anything I've ever seen before in my fucking life. Because anybody else I've ever seen in my life. Gary Hart had a girl on a boat. That was it. Pictures of a girl on a boat. He was like, I gotta resign from running for president. Yeah, I was banging a girl on a boat. I can't be president. We jumped the shark here in this country. We decided President Pussy Grabber was all right. There's no way that something's going to come out about this guy. And if it does, it's fake news. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. It's like, dude, he just uses the same thing, and people keep buying it. Anyway, I want to talk about Rupert Murdoch, because this is the interesting part. Rupert Murdoch started Fox News to prop up the right wing in this country. It ain't no secret that's why he did it. And it's become a popular propaganda outlet for the right wing, known for trafficking and questionable bullshit. And in fact, had to pay $800 million or something for telling bullshit about the election. So, now, the fake news channel that he created is right now working to discredit his real news organization, which is the Wall Street Journal. To have one Murdoch-owned company going after another Murdoch-owned company. And if you look at the records, the Wall Street Journal is not Fox News. The Wall Street Journal has been around for years and years and years and years and years. It's a pillar of journalism, it was once. Trump's trying to get it put into the category of other rags, that just make shit up. And it was like, I'm telling you right now, they wouldn't have printed this story if they didn't know they had it, especially if it's about Trump. Now, why did Murdoch do this is the real question. And things, I've been seeing and reading, I don't know, it's like that he doesn't like his monetary policy, he doesn't like the tariffs, he doesn't like, but I don't know. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he actually believes that the more they learn, the more maybe they're like, hey, this guy is fucking creepy and people need to know. Now you don't know it already is like the guy, like I said, he's the most crass individual you've ever seen. The people love him for it. Yeah, he's a real guy. He's a real guy. He's a real asshole. That's what he is. Maybe Ken says maybe his cankles. Well, that's the other part. When you think it's a coincidence that all this stress, you know, it's probably stressful for him. Super stressful. More than usual. Because as I said, this is his secrets. This is his skeleton in the closet. People are shaking the closet door. It's like, dude, they gotta open that door. All kinds of bones are gonna fall out. It's like, oh no. And he's getting stressed out. Then his cankles start swelling up. His hands fucking bleed. It's like, stress is the number one killer. If you didn't know that. Like, it's nothing kill you faster than stress. And Trump's always been like, he doesn't care about much, although I think that he was seriously stressing, because if he didn't win the election, he was going to trial on some of this stuff, and he was going to get found guilty. He was going to go to jail probably. So that was probably stressful. But then once he won the presidency, he's like, woo! Stress is off. Right? And then he started shaking his Epstein closet. That's the other thing is, I don't know how he thought that somehow he's going to slide out. It's like, I think that they thought they put out those files, the first files. Because let's go all the way back to that. Okay? If he thought that this was all a hoax, and it's fake, and the Democrats did something to, try to make him look bad, or fabricated evidence in the files or whatever, then why did they make a big deal out of releasing those files in the beginning? The Epstein Files, Part 1, and they called all the mega people, and they're like, here you go, and everybody was like, yes, and they ran out, but then they started looking at the book, and they say, wait a minute. This is all stuff that's been out already. There's nothing new here. Yeah, well, those are the files. It's like, no. And they were like, no, we want to see something different, some new stuff. Like, open up the page 2 or whatever, and keep going. And they were like, oh, well, nothing to see here. Case closed. And people are like, oh, wait a minute, man, this is weird. Yeah, isn't it weird? Did you know this? Did you know that one of President Trump's cabinet secretaries was the prosecutor for the Epstein case? And he gave him that sweet plea deal. And who was Attorney General at that time? Of Florida. Pam Bondi? Really? Now, I always say all the time that I don't like conspiracy theories because everything can't be a conspiracy. Everything's not a conspiracy. Now, technically, every single thing is a conspiracy if more than one person is involved. Two people talk about some shit and they do some shit together. That's a conspiracy, So technically, everything that happens is a conspiracy. That's why conspiracy theories are so easy to gin up because, there's always, when people are doing stuff together, it's a fucking conspiracy. And anything that anybody does, unless they're all alone, is a conspiracy on some level. Now, what they do is they twist it and turn it and they put all the fucking threads and they... And a lot of times, it's like reaching way far. It's like, well, this is here, and then to put these things together, you got to put something way over here. And here it's like, there's Trump, the guy that gave him the plea deal. There's Pam Bondi. They're all right together there, and they're still together now. Isn't that around? Wouldn't that be crazy? That these crazy conspiracy theorists, chased around all these bullshit conspiracy theories. Like I said, they think that the Democrats are all over the fucking Epstein files. Right? But what? What if it turns out that the actual conspiracy that they've been chasing are the people who they follow? Who used that very conspiracy to gin them up against their enemies. And they're like, no one's ever going to find out, this because that's the one thing about Trump that you got to admit is like the motherfucker's slippery, man. He's the best. I mean, for a dumbass, he's a dumbass, but he's also very clever and what's the word? Devious and slippery. Like I said, he gets away with everything. He knows how to use the legal system to distract and to obfuscate, to block things, to like this lawsuit. He went and filed it in Eileen Cannon's district, the judge that he appointed to dismiss the classified documents case. He could have filed this case anywhere. He went right there to his pawn judge that he has in the court. Now, I think there's like a draw, so there's no guarantee that he gets Cannon. But if he does, I will be willing to bet that 99.9% of judges in this country would not even let that case go to court because it's so ridiculous. It's a ridiculous case. Like, he's on libel, libel, assault, slander. He claims that they damaged his reputation. Like, what reputation? You have a reputation as an asshole. It's like, oh man, this made me look like even more of an asshole. The people already think I am. Like, no. You're a fucking dick. And everybody thinks so. And you start watching these world leaders when they go to see Trump now. When they sit in the two chairs, and then Trump just rambles on and on and on and on and on and on and on about some bullshit that most of the time doesn't even have anything to do with the meeting that they're having. And the world leader guy's got to just sit in the chair and listen to him talk. Just watch their faces. And that'll tell you all you need to know about what other people think about us now. Not to mention it's all fucking gaudy and gold-plated and there's like a bust of himself on the... it's so fucking tacky, dude. He's turned his country to white trash. It's a white trash country. It's like... yeah, president likes wrestling. It's like... as a matter of fact, the president's in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's like... I know a guy. I swear to God, I know a guy. That's his number one thing about it. That's why he loves Trump. He'll literally be like, I don't care what Trump does. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame. This is the mentality of people that you're dealing with. Like I said, they're like children. I mean, intellectually. They're like children. Which is why Trump's able to say, it's a hoax! This is what John did it for like 50,000 times. And they go, yes! I believe it is! Mike Johnson said, Trump is the most persecuted and attacked president we've ever had in the history of the world. It's like, yes. He's also the most corrupt, dishonest piece of shit that's ever been a president. Including Nixon. Nixon is like, Jesus Christ, this guy. It's fucking unbelievable. If Nixon would have seen Trump, he would have never resigned. Nixon would have been like, this is a hoax. Your own guys have turned against you. No, they're lying. It's like, it's a witch hunt. The fact that he's able to have this little packet, it's just a little packet of like phrases and words that he just repeats over and over and over. And you tell me that it's not a brainwashed cult. Bro, it's a brainwashed cult. Like, man, this guy's got a lot of witch hunts. Now he's going to Brazil, like, my friend, it's a witch hunt against him. It's like, dude, guy sees witch hunts everywhere. And even then, he couldn't come up with something new to say. He just took this word out of his little packet and he just like applied it to Brazil. Oh, look what's going on down there. It's another witch hunt. So, the guy in Brazil said he did what Trump did on January 6th. He said, if Trump would have done that here, he'd been arrested. That's why I said before, this system that we have is too weak to protect itself against these fucking assholes, they said. Because any other country would have arrested him. He'd already be in jail. But Trump had 20 cases going on at the same time. Remember that? Like, and none of them went to court. He never went to jail. They took him in and took a picture of him and he walked out. They used that picture to gin up his base. He should have went to jail. Like anybody else. Like more than anybody else. He tried to overthrow the government. And we fucking just elected him back into office. There's something wrong with this country. Something seriously wrong. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to get out of here. But on some level, it's fascinating to watch. Like, as a person who's interested in history and psychology and all kinds of things, it's definitely interesting to watch. But the fact that these people, all it took for them to turn back around and run back to Trump was for him to attack the Wall Street Journal. It tells you everything you need to know about these people. Like I said, it's a brainwashed cult. You could show them pictures of Trump banging little girls, and they would be like, fake news! It's a witch hunt! It's a cult. When you believe that this guy can do no wrong ever, even though he's done all kinds of wrong, right out in the open, no one even cares. And you go, oh, you try to stop him? You got Trump derangement syndrome. Dude, he grabbed my little girl's crotch. This guy's a fucking asshole. You just don't like him because of his politics. I would usually, when someone dies, you say, let's have a moment of silence. But the founder of the Heritage Foundation died. I don't remember his fucking name even. Let me look it up. I got it. But, and I just want to say, good fucking riddance. I hope that they're Edwin Fulner. F-E-U-L-N-E-R. I wonder what that is. Fulner. He died today. He's 80-something still. Hey, good riddance. Sometimes There's silver linings. He hasn't lived long enough to see us destroy everything that he's tried to fucking do. He probably died yesterday happy, thinking that he succeeded in destroying America. And he would be right on some accounts. But like I said before, all these fascist movements, they win some battles, they win momentarily, but it never lasts. It's never going to last. And if you're a MAGA, and you support MAGA, you feel good and powerful right now. You can feel real good about yourself. But you ain't going to be remembered this way. You're going to be remembered as pathetic, groveling nutlickers who fell for a con artist and a pedophile rapist. Because he told you what you wanted to hear. You gave away your own freedom. Willingly. Because you hated other people so much. That's how you're going to be remembered. Eventually. Because I don't... For a long time I was getting... really discouraged and downtrodden, depressed. It was like, you can't do that. You know, as a student of history, like you got to step back, even because I said it's easy to get caught up in the moment. It's just like your life, you know. There's moments of your life where it feels like, right, like you're in a pit, and you're in a black hole, and like nothing's going right for you, and it's awful, and there's no hope. But then, you know, that turns. Right? I mean, if you do something about it. My life has gone up, it's gone down, it's gone back up, it's gone back down. You know, it's like there's pits, there's valleys. You know, in the history of the country or whatever, it's the same way. Right now we're way down in a black valley. You know, a hole, probably the worst one we've been in since the actual Civil War. We're in a pretty dark, bleak place in this country. But there's a lot of people in this country who are good people. A lot. More of them than there are of them. What's going to happen is some of these people who are apathetic and think that politics and shit doesn't have anything to do with them and they don't vote and they don't care about it. The more that their life is affected by this shit, they're going to wake up and go, hey, wait a minute. But what you're going to do is create a lot more woke people. Which is ironic because that's what they hate. It's like I said before, like they spend all their time turning the Democrats into, you know, they're leftists, socialists, communists, you know, which they weren't. They're fucking corporate shills just like the fucking Republicans, except they're more liberal on social shit. But fiscally, I was having some argument with this guy the other day. It's like, fiscally, they're not that much different. They all serve the rich people and the corporations. And that's why the Democratic Party is unpopular right now, because it's lost touch with its base, you know, with the people who are the Democratic Party, which is left-leaning progressives. The more that they move to the center and serve the corporations economically, they didn't help the workers and shit. Then they lost them. And so workers are like, well, what are you going to do? It's a two-party system, right? And they go, well, these people haven't helped us, so what do we do? That's why they went to the Republicans. That's why the two-party system sucks. But anyway, these people didn't realize what the Republicans are. They were just like, the Democrats aren't helping me right now. And I've been voting Democrat my whole life, and they haven't done shit for me. So I'm going to switch. Let's give Trump a try, you know, whatever. Which, the first time, I could see. The second time, it's like, well, we all know what Trump is. And this time, like Kamala kept saying, you know, that people weren't listening. It's like, this time the gloves are off. There is no guardrail. He's going to clean out the government and install a bunch of nutlickers and do whatever he wants. There'll be no one to stop him. And people are like, well, the eggs are expensive. Trump. It's like, how'd that work out for you? Beef is like, I don't know if it's an all-time high, but it's pretty high right now. You know, ain't nothing going down. These tariffs going to kick in 2 weeks. Everything's going to skyrocket. It said Walmart raising prices 51%. Now, how'd that work out for you? Now, I'm not shilling the Democrats. Like I said, they got a lot of problems. There was a poll that said Democratic Party has a 27% approval rate, the lowest it's ever been since CNN started taking this poll. People are sick of the system itself, I believe. The two-party system it's a scam. It's always been a scam. First of all, there's way more than two ways to look at things, you know. And secondly, as you can see from looking around, it's just exactly what I've been saying. Is if there's two parties and that's it, there's left and the right, well, they got to get more and more extreme. The center, there used to be people in the center who were like, well, I'm kind of wishy-washy on this, but I'm conservative on taxes and small government, but I don't mind gay people and, you know, all that shit. But see, the internet has changed all that. The internet is also a factor, which it drives people to extremes. So, like I said, as they went farther and farther right, they tried to say that Democrats are communists and socialists and all these things, that they're really not. But what's going to happen as a result of that is it's already happening. Like, Democrats are becoming more leftist as a reaction to these extreme fascist policies that are being, you know, put out. So what they're going to do is create the very thing that it's like Frankenstein. He fucked around and created a monster, you know. And that's what they're doing. Well, I mean, they already did it to themselves. But then, that's what I mean is, they're devoid of actual ideas, the Republicans. Like, they don't really have any plans to make your life better, to fix anything, or to make society itself better. Their whole thing is hating, dividing, and then hoarding wealth. That's always been their policies. They don't. When's the last time a Republican like had a platform that wasn't like, we're gonna stop abortion, we're gonna get the gays, you know, we're gonna stop the trannies from playing sports, we're gonna. It's like, yeah, but what's in this for me? We're gonna give you a tax break, you know, for no tax on tips for 2 years. How's that? Then we're gonna run a $4 trillion deficit and give all of our rich buddies a tax break, and corporations. We're gonna deregulate everything so that they can poison you again, you know. And you're like, why do people fall for this shit? Because they don't look past the hating part. They're like, yeah, I hate them gays too, or I hate the trans. I want to get rid of the immigrants. You know, that kind of stuff is emotional. It makes you not really think. It makes you feel things. Like that's what they said, that these people are reactionary people who don't really think or consider the consequences of the things they're doing, because they just want to make themselves feel good. Because that's another part of it, is it's selfish. The philosophy itself, you know, it's the whole, you know, dog eat dog, and it's get up off your bootstrap and get a job, unless the black guy got a job and that you wanted it, and it's oh, I got ripped off somehow. Because that's exactly what happened in the old days. That's what how they kept slaves. Slaves is like, what happens if you free all these slaves? They're gonna come out to your jobs, and then people are like, oh no. That's how you get somebody who's not really racist to get on board, because they're like, oh, I'm threatened. Well, I'm not really racist, but I'm threatened. Like they might take my job, so I gotta get on. I gotta get on board with these people that I may or may not, agree with fully. But to protect myself and my own selfish self-interest, I got to get on board because I want this black guy getting free and taking my job, and they've been using that shit ever since. You would think about the whole entire system, They would say black people can't do anything and they're lazy and all this stuff. And they discriminate against them, whatever. So what happened? Black people got together and they were like, hey, well, let's just create our own community. And so they did. Tulsa. It became very big, very thriving, very rich. They called it Black Wall Street. Right? They were very successful. They were creating their own little thing. And what happened? White people came in and fucking burned it down. Because that doesn't fit the narrative. You can't have black people living normally and being successful and not being, stuck down in a ghetto where they force everybody to, commit crimes and shit so they can pretend that they're all fucking savages, no. This has always been a white supremacist country. You don't have to just pick up a history book of this country and read it. Most of the time, they don't even tell you about that. Because they're trying to hide it. That's what this whole thing is about, going after public education. They want kids to learn about all this stuff. The truth is, the system is designed, or it was designed, for white people to dominate. And what happened is the demographics started shifting in this country, and white people all of a sudden weren't the majority, or, we're still the majority, but it was like, in a few years, they're not going to be the majority, and that's why you see all this deportation and all this stuff. They're trying to change the demographics of the country. Because they knew that as the country becomes more homogenous, that white people are going to not be, have all the power. You can't have that. And that's what Trumpism is all about. The Heritage Foundation, all that. I've told you a long time ago, many times on this show, the Heritage Foundation was founded by the descendants of the Confederacy. They have a grudge on, and they've had a grudge on. And it's only been a couple generations, so that grudge is passed to their children, to their children. And they say, you was wrong. And then when they started taking down the Confederate monuments and shit, like you saw them, they started freaking out. And that's why they were marching around, you will not erase us, you will not replace us. It's like, no one's trying to replace you, bro. The fact that you even think that shows your sense of superiority that you have for yourself. You think someone's trying to replace you, it's like, no, not really. It just means you can work with other kinds of people, and we have like I said, functioning democracy. You see, it's never been that. That's a scam too. It's not really a democracy, bro. If this is democracy, you wouldn't see 87% of people want reasonable gun control, and they say, nope, we don't get it. Well, why not? Because 87% of people want it. It doesn't matter. These politicians, they don't give a fuck what you want. They don't serve you. They serve the rich people now. They serve Peter Thiel. It's always been that way. They used to serve the railroad barons and all, the oil barons and the. It's like the government has never given a fuck about regular people in this country. They don't give a shit about it. Now the progressives did. That's why they created the New Deal and all that stuff. But that stuff didn't even exist till like the 1940s, and they've been trying to get rid of it ever since. It's a leech. It's a welfare state. If they can't just take your tax dollars and make them disappear, then it's not cool. It's like, hey, look around this country. I mean, really, if you think about it, like when I've been alive long enough that I remember when they were still building the interstates, and when the interstates were all brand new. You're like, wow, this is like we live in a really fucking technologically modern country, But now, all the same stuff is there. It's all falling apart. We haven't invested anything into fixing any of this stuff. It's like where I work. The store's been there for, I don't know, I mean, the store that I work for has been there at least 10 or 15 years. I don't know how long they were there before I started working there the first time, but I worked there for years, and I went away, 10 years at least. So the building that they're in is 15, 20 years old. Everything's falling apart. It's like no one has invested any money into any of it. They've just been going along and plugging holes here, there, whatever stuff, And now all the coolers are breaking in, the roof is leaking. Like the roof been leaking for years. They finally got a bunch of people up trying to fix the roof. The last week or so, they've been up there putting on a new roof, and I was blown away. I was like, I can't believe they're doing that. It's like, because the ceiling's been leaking for 15 years. And the bosses are running around, everything's falling apart around here. It's like, well, you haven't done a shit to improve any of it. It's a microcosm of the country itself. It's like, we only do things when we have to. And then we go, all right, let's do it, fast and as good as we can, and then move on. All these countries in Europe and Asia, they got high-speed rails that go everywhere. They got all kinds of public transportation. They got all these things. We don't have any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, Trump's trying to kill the high-speed rail that they're trying to build in California. Now, it is way over budget, and, there's problems with it for sure, but we don't have that stuff. You know why? Because the airline companies and the people that have all the lobbyists that control the politicians, they don't want that competition. So you can't buy high-speed rail, then people won't buy as many cars. People won't fly on the planes as much. People won't. They want to make money off of you. And that's it. They don't care about the country itself. And that's why capitalism, that's the great flaw of capitalism. It's built on greed, which greed is not a way to do anything. I mean, I guess it's a way to get rich and fuck some people over or whatever, but it's not a way to run a country. You can't be like, we can't have public transportation because I own pieces of Ford and the car sales will go down. It's like, well, then he's not really helping you out, is he? He's looking after his own self-interest, which is what everybody's doing. And now it's a circle jerk of people that got their heads all up Trump's ass. And they're all trying to get rich. We're building a prison system now. Like, that's what we need, more jails. We already have more people in jail than anybody in the world, right? But now we're building a prison system for these immigrants. Well, that's all private companies. They're all publicly held shares of stock trading on the NASDAQ, or not the NASDAQ, but the Dow. They're all making money off this. And people still think that they care about them, which is hilarious. These people don't care about you. And now they're covering up for the very pedophiles they said that they were going after. Then they find out, oh no, it's our people. Really? Better close that book. It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax. I've said it many times, and I hate to say it on this show, but I'll say it again one more time. It's like, there ain't no hope for us. All you can do is ride it out, my friends. Try to enjoy your life the best you can, because there ain't no hope for us in the grand scheme of things. The world's falling apart, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. And people are standing in the midst of climate change with floods washing away their entire towns and still pretending like that's not what's going on. You're in trouble. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go out, and enjoy my life. You should do the same. I'll be back Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, you stumbled across me. I just turned it on this week, so please come back. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal, and I'll be back on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. Good night. Go enjoy your weekend.